Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Futures Club podcast, where we come to chill and get our minds right. I am Judith Daniel, your host and owner of Juju Star Productions LLC, where we have an array of products designed to help and encourage and uplift and push you forward in life. If you want to know more, go ahead and click that link. But for now, sit back and enjoy the show. Hey, all right. So, as you can see from the title, we are going to be talking about what kind of box are you in? And then a kind of undertone to that, who put you there? Did you put you there? Or maybe did someone thinking they knew the best for you put you there? Was there a hater that put you there? Or was there someone that didn't want you to do better than them put you there? How did you get in that box? And I think it's perfectly clear that I can speak for everyone under the sound of my voice, that if you can hear the sound of my voice, you are not in that box that falls 6 feet under. Agreed? And therefore, everyone under the sound of my voice has a choice to stay in that box, to go into a different box, or to eliminate the box altogether. Now, for today's, example, topic, discussion, we're going to call that box limited thinking, right? Because when you have limitless thinking, the only box you're going to be in is the one for transportation to get you where you need to go. But if that box does not have wheels, then it's just a sitting duck and you're going to be stagnant. So now that we're unboxing the box, because I'm hilarious. Now that we're unboxing the box and we are showing what the box is, does your box have windows? Does your box have wheels? Does your box have windows? Can you get somewhere inside that box? Can you see a perspective further than where you are right now inside that box? Or is it a full-on cardboard box that's just sitting there? You can't see nowhere because why? There's a wall in front of you. Who put that wall there? Who told you that that was a limit? Who told you that you can't use something and cut a hole in there so you can see what you need to see? And some of those people who have been in a box all their life, when they come to the end of that life, or getting close to the end of that life, or got some news that said the end of that life is coming, oh, now they want to shift it and live. Now they want to stand up and step their foot outside of the box. Why? Because they've never done it before. Well, why haven't you at least thought about and tried to before? And then after you go out there and it's not what you thought and you still can't get anywhere, and there are no doors that have opened, and there is no thought that comes and turns into a vision in your head and kind of gives you an outlook further than where you are right now. If when you step outside that box, that is the reality, then by all means, go back inside that box. See, the one thing that we fail to take into consideration as truth and for real, is the fact that we don't really have all the time in the world to get started. But there is never a late time to get started. You see how confusing that is? You see how and why a lot of people can't do this? Because if we could all step out of our box, if it was that easy to do, then we would have done it. And we wouldn't be jumping off of sky rises because the stock market went down. And we wouldn't say, oh, they're being mean to me, so I don't want to be here anymore. Or I'm uncomfortable, so I don't want to be here anymore. Or I made a bad decision, so I don't want to be here anymore. In the boundaries of that thinking are walls, is a box put around your mind that won't let you go any further, or makes you think that you can't go any further. Can I speak in the room for everyone over the age of 35? We have all been uncomfortable. We have all made the wrong decision. We have all had a bad day. We have all had people that were being mean to us. We have all seen stock markets go up and down. But if your perspective is so limited that you think living another day would be tragedy, why do you think that? Why wouldn't living another day just could be that best day you were looking for? Why do we pull to the negative instead of to the positive? Who put that thinking in your head? Who are you surrounding yourself with that allows you to feel comfortable in the negative? That's not healthy. Healthy would be, hey, I'm gonna try. Oh, dang, I failed bad. But I learned this. So then failing is not really failing, it's a lesson to be had. And I've been going through lessons my whole life. And now I'm to a point where those lessons are actually meaning something. I can actually use those lessons to my benefit. See, we have to stop looking at this life as a dreaded place to be, even though at times it is a dreaded place to be, right? Because everyone has the option to choose good or choose bad or choose right or choose wrong. And a lot of us think it's okay to choose wrong because, hey, we only got one life to live, right? When in fact, we have a lot of days to live. We only get to die once. We're only transitioning one time. But you have all these days that you could be with us. That you could, instead of taking it for a negative of YOLO, you can take it in the positive and be that wow factor. Why not go for being that wow factor? Why not, instead of, well, I'm only going to be here for this amount of time, I might as well live it up and just be reckless and damage my body so that I'm limiting my time even more. Instead of, well, what if I took this idea out of my head? How far could it get? if we're only going to be here one time, why not go as far as I can and then go out with a bang where everybody knows my name? Instead of being in the box, more or less so like, well, nobody knows my name. I guess I should just. But don't fill in the blank. Let me give you some ideas of why you shouldn't fill in that blank. Why that should never even be an option for you, because it's an irrelevant, outdated form of transportation to get to where we all are going to go anyway. Why cut it short? Because I'm telling you, when you get to that, if you live to the full potential of you, and you get to be in your ripe old age, and you still have your right mind and can understand things, you are still going to say, that came too fast. Wow, life really is short. So, changing it from limited thinking to limitless thinking brings with it so many benefits. Because if we're going to go out, let's go out with a bang, right? Let's be here as long as we can, do as much as we can of our passions instead of just giving up our turn. Is it okay to feel down? Is it okay to get into those moments where, oh my goodness, I just need a minute? A, B, and C just happened. I'm feeling like this. I have no solution because I can't think and find one at this moment. Yes, it's okay. That's what we call stuck. And stuck is a word we use, right? And it means what it means. But just in the same token that you can get stuck, thank you, I heard somebody in the back already say it, you can get unstuck, right? Because stuck is not death. Stuck is not a finish line. Stuck is a moment that's waiting on the right solution to become unstuck. So a high benefit of you letting your mind be minding, right? You letting your mind, you're not holding back from your mind, you're not hindering your mind, but you are allowing yourself the freedom of your mind, is creativity. When you don't put limits on things, the possibilities are endless. And because you're an all fully equipped being, I mean, your next thought could be your best thought at any given moment in time, and multiple times, not just once. Why? Because you see things on a daily basis, and you know there are things that could make those things better. And you might just be that person that does it, even if everybody else failed. That might have been your mission, if that's your passion. You could have been that master at that. And guess what? You still can be that master at that. Because when it's your passion, when it's something that you are focused on, when it's a desire of your heart, you get there, the realization, way quicker on how it's supposed to go. And then the follow-up, the works, the putting it in place and actually physically doing that thing is what makes it happen and what takes a little bit longer. But if you can imagine it in your mind that it's already done and you can walk that walk and see it through, that's the issue. The creativity. I have a vision board course that talks about letting your imagination do what it was supposed to do, and how there are no wrong answers to that, because it's what you want and you are worth it to have what you want. So then you're letting your creativity juices flow, as they say. And then next thing you know, you're looking around in your world, you're like, yo, I could probably da-da-da-da, right? And then you start thinking about another benefit that happens when you have limitless thought. Solutions come about. Being able to problem solve. And look, you're doing this without a calculator. You're doing this without pen and paper in the beginning. And you are thinking, and you are going from one thought of conception to another thought of feasibility, to another thought of how would we actually, to another thought of I got it, and this is what would make it, to another thought, this could benefit people by, and to another thought, how do we get it on the market? And to another thought, and what are you doing? You are mapping your road. So now you were creative. Now you've solved the problem. So now it goes into exploration and experimentation. And that could not only lead to the path that you wanted for yourself, but new discoveries, new insights, new perspectives to take that thing to the mountaintop. So then what are you doing when you're exploring, when you're solving all these problems, when you're being creative? You're learning. You're getting a deeper understanding. You're not restricting yourself. You're actually gaining the experience and it's sticking with you. You can't unlearn what you've learned. Once you've got it, you've got it. Now, making it a memory, a muscle memory, is when you keep putting it into play, and then it becomes an automatic. And all these things build toward the positive, right? And when we're learning in such a way, when we are having those experiences, when we see us, we start to have growth. Because at first you were over here just thinking about something. Now you're in the execution stage. And you've learned all this stuff in between. So now, even if your mind was like this in the beginning, and I'm feeling like this, something has sparked your interest. And something is now motivating you to keep going. Because why? You're getting in tune with yourself. And being in tune with yourself doesn't mean you're in competition with someone else. That means you are understanding your A1, yourself, your mind, how you think, your authenticity. And then once that change starts taking place, innovation and change can be conceptualized. And now not only are you making a difference here and there, but other people watching you are also intrigued and inspired. And depending on what their profession is and what your profession is and your focus and their focus, if it's different, when you bring it together, it's called a mastermind alliance. Where even though I have this thought and I have this thought, we're both going towards the same goal. So that's why when you start having your team and building your team, you want it to be a team of like-minded individuals. You want it to, even though it be diverse, have the same outcome in mind. If we take it to the recording studio, which I used to manage a recording studio, shout out to the D, shout out to Battlefield. When you're in a recording studio, there are so many different elements that bring together that beautiful sound. Okay? So you have the artist, right? You have the engineer, right? You have the beat maker. You have the instruments. You might got your 808. Whatever your 48-track recording device might be. And you have your speakers in order to output what you are putting in. You're making the perfect team for the perfect melody. When you have the creativity coupled with the problem-solving skills, and you're allowing yourself to explore and use your imagination, and you are learning all of these things, so then it's giving you great growth in areas you thought might not be there. So you are becoming innovative, and you are discovering new things, and you are advancing. Now, that is the perfect melody to your dream. That is the perfect mix of everything that is needed, along with you actually walking through it. So you plan, and then you execute. And now, because you have all these different elements, it's like a French braid. And you have to know how to separate and bring them together. You have them separate and you're bringing it together. And then when you get done, when you see that final project, when you see the outcome that you created, it's a masterpiece. So what are our masterpieces? What is that end goal? We'll never know if you keep yourself inside that box. And if you keep yourself inside that box, you are limiting your greatness. If you let them keep you inside that box and then you stay there because they said so, you are limiting your greatness. Now, we can't stop people from saying what they're going to say, right? We can't stop them from thinking how they're going to think, right? So what can we do? Well, we can go back to rule number 1. We make our voice the loudest voice in the world. Why? Because we are in the world. And there's always going to be voices around. There's always going to be people that say, hey, you shouldn't, you can't, don't. I'm scared for you, right? When that, I have no idea still how that makes sense, because you're not the one walking this walk. It's me. And I'm not scared for me. But if you let them talk long enough, they'll start to put doubt in your head, and then that's not good for you. Because you have to believe it. And you have to believe that you've already received it. You can't believe something and have doubt. Just like you can't worry and pray and think it's going to work out. Now you got to be in and all in. All in. Like 10 toes down, all in for you. We can get that way for somebody else, no problem. But when it comes to us, we somehow think that because we're we, I don't know how to put it, because we are ourselves, we don't need to put as much love and care and kindness into ourselves that we do other people. And in reality, that's where it's supposed to start. That's why we have the the mirror work, where you start with you. Because we as women, and I'm guilty of it too, I'm here for you. I'm here for them. But not for me. And we have a hard time figuring out the first step of getting there sometimes. And then it becomes this whole, it's too much. Let me just do what I was doing. Forget it. You know what I mean? We think that maybe going to the nail shop once every 2 weeks, every month, I don't know, that's enough. Going to get a facial once every 6 months is enough. I'm talking about the internal care. Sitting, being able to think, being able to just breathe without people pulling at your energy, without being bothered, being able to turn off that phone for a couple of hours and knowing that the world is not going to fall apart. We can't only help everybody else. We have to start helping ourselves too. And that's okay to do. But we don't know that because we give so much of ourselves that we think the little tiny things that we do, that those are, the highlights, when they are not. You deserve so much more. And not to leave our men out. Because the ones that work so hard, they really work so hard. And they are meant to carry the worries and the weight of this world on their shoulders. Because they are great protectors. They are providers. They are that guy. And so how do they show themselves love? They think going to the gym, getting all pumped up. I mean, that's good for your physical necessity. But what about your mind? What are you doing for that? Are you taking time out just for you, where you can turn that cell phone off for just a couple hours and your world not fall apart? Where nobody is pulling at your energy constantly, but that you can just take a moment for yourself, just to sit and not be exhausted. So then you fall asleep. So then you've not really spent any time with you. You just were so exhausted that you fell asleep and you're like, oh, that's my me time. I got to rest. No, you were sleeping. You need to have a time, set aside time, just for you, just to sit, just to enjoy maybe your favorite meal, just to not even do anything physically, but to just be calm and think for a minute. So much can be built in the silence. And those ideas that you have, and those things that you want to do, if you get in silence for just a little bit, how much clearer could those thoughts be? For now, you're able to build on it and do something that, oh, I didn't have that thought yesterday. So let's choose limitless thinking over limited thinking. And to the ones that are putting you in a box, assess those situations, analyze the benefits to what might be bringing you down, and how much you are learning from those situations, and then decide if they should even be there. Because remember, this is a journey of one, where you can come together with others, but come together as your most authentic and best self, where you know your worth and actually what you are bringing to the table. Not physically, but of yourself. What are you bringing to the table? If this made sense. Which, hey, sometimes it's a hit or miss. But if it did, I want you to put in the comments that I hear you. I want you to say, you know what? I heard that. Give me a minute to think. Because I know you have it in you. I don't care who I'm talking to. I know you have it in you. Because that's how we were pre-programmed, fully equipped with a sound mind in order to build and to grow and to do our parts when we get here. And doing our part is not what somebody else tells you that it is. It's what you know in your heart of hearts that it is. So I am going to get out of here. I thank you all for showing up. And if there's a topic, if there's a question you have, make sure you put that in the comments. And if you haven't already, I want you to run over right away with your legs to futuresclub101.com. See what we have going on there and what you would like to be a part of. If you need individual coaching sessions, let me know. If you are ready to join us in July, let me know. If you want to just see and be nosy, I welcome that. And then if you have any questions, let me know, you guys. I'm here for you. This setup, what I'm doing, me, businesses, all this stuff is for you. And I feel good about that. I hope you feel good about you. And until next time, deuces. As always, thank you for joining us again for another episode. We hope you enjoyed yourself, but the best way to know is if you leave a comment or you send me a message and you actually let me know. If you have any questions, I would love to be able to answer those on the next episode, so go ahead and leave me that as well. But until next time, just know you are worth it to be wherever you want to be.